You should never comment on profiles on Hinge. The first reason is because most women actually have a lot of matches and they use the free version of the app. So they have to go to their page of likes and they're only going to see a single like or comment at a given time. So the odds that it's going to be yours is quite low. Yours is probably buried along with many others. And at the same time, and this is an even bigger reason, is that after running my own test of sending 70 comments, I realized it took me 10 times longer to actually send them than just giving a like. It's the process of scrolling down, reading, looking at their images, looking at their prompts, trying to think of something creative to say. It just takes so much longer. It's a huge time sink. Like, the only people who should be actually scrolling down or who could do it is those on the free version, because you have 8 likes per day and that's not very many, so you can just do whatever you want. But I'll show you a reasonably casual pace. I'll actually do it right now. Hopefully I don't get like a bunch of bad matches. Okay, so I got the most compatible one, which is like, I don't know about you guys, but when they show you the most compatible, which is supposed to be like the best one, they're always like a no. But anyways, okay, that's a no, that's a yes, that's a yes. I don't really know, so I'm gonna say yes, just to pause here for a second. That's what I usually do. Like, I can decide after the fact. I'm not gonna take a bunch of time thinking like, maybe scroll down, maybe just say yes. I can decide after. This is another yes, yes, no, no, yes, no, 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 yes, no. That's the pace that you should be using Hinge at. And of course, this is Hinge Plus or Hinge X because you need the unlimited likes. But if you're doing any other pace than that, it's just, I mean, literally switching to a pace like that, if you're not doing it, could 2, 3, 5 times your matches immediately, just because you're like actually scrolling down. It's like, that's like one of the quickest and easiest ways to get way more matches. And you know, even if you're like struggling, you can probably do that. And if you do that for like 10 minutes, that's, I mean, probably 30 to 50 easily likes send out. But you know, the funny thing, of those 70 comments that I sent, which were like actually a mix of like highly relevant questions, like I actually wanted to do this test right. When they said something that's relevant to me, that I was genuinely interested in, I would, you know, have a really good comment, or sometimes it would just like a reaction of something that they're doing. But I didn't get a single response out of all of them, which I didn't even expect that. I did end up passively doing it a little bit longer and I got 1, but that's, I mean, I'm sure, as I said in another video, if I had kept going with this, it would at least match my average like to match rate. But you know, like an even bigger part of this, bigger reason why you shouldn't do it, apart from them not seeing it, apart from how long it takes, is that it won't change their interest. It won't change. I actually got my first rose ever. I did not think I would ever get a rose. I think I already dismissed it. Nice. There you go. I don't know if that will show up. That's what happens. Okay, got it. And it's a no. I mean, it's still cool. But anyways, what I was getting at is that it's not going to change my interest in them. Like, it's really cool. I might say thank you because that's kind of cool. Like, they could have sent it to a lot of other people, but it doesn't change my interest. So, you know, just rely, you know, have faith in your pictures. And if you don't have faith in your pictures, and get some faith in your pictures, that's then get some better pictures. But yeah, it's just a big waste of time. It's one of those things that once you realize and you can actually get into a rhythm of swiping enough, it'll make a huge difference. And I think this is just reflects a larger trap, because there's so many different little traps that you can fall into with the dating apps. For one thing, not paying for the premium versions, like if you're serious about it, like using 3 apps passively, or not passively, but like getting your 8 likes a day on Hinge, 50 likes a day on Tinder. I don't know. I don't even know what Bumble is, like 20 or something like that. Like that's actually not bad. And I think I might like make a video of that. But if you're like really serious and like, okay, I want to like deal with this side of my life, and Hinge is probably your best bet paying for the premium version is probably your best bet. And just getting into that rhythm, not reading profiles, not doing any of that crap, because they're traps that burn you out. There's just so many different things. Getting so invested into a single profile, to a single conversation, and then they don't go anywhere. And then you get frustrated, and then you kind of dial back your effort. You don't swipe as much because it's such a grind. It's like, no, just keep swiping. That's like 100% normal, 100% normal. It is like not every conversation, but a lot of conversations, 80% of them to 90 even. I think like 1 in 10 is around average of matches that don't go anywhere, which is crazy. But you need to keep that on top of your mind constantly. If 1 of 10 is the average, then that means like half of people it's actually going to take longer. So, do not get bogged down. Do not fall in these traps, because they can, they make dating apps so much harder to do, so much harder. And at the same time, like I've been running a bunch of tests, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and I should have probably counted the total amount of matches or whatever. I didn't. But there's been a handful of like very, very, very motivated women who were just like, they were matches and they just wanted to meet. And it's about finding those ones. It's not about, getting bogged down on the maybes or ones that you have to work at. Like if you're working, if you have to like obviously you should have some like decent conversation back and forth, so you both like each other, there's a bit of a connection there, whatever, that you want to go on for a date. But there's going to be a lot of women who just like, they're not really serious. And there's some women who are very serious, and it's just, you need the volume to be able to actually see that those exist. So, again, don't get bogged down in those traps. And I think like 50 likes a day, I found that as like the 30 to 50. If you're really like, if you have the means, where 30 is still getting you something, like that's the baseline. But ideally 50, if you can do 100, like if you're actually really serious, like, oh, I haven't been on a date. If you haven't been on a date before, or if you have been on less than 5, you should probably be sending at least 100 likes on Hinge. It's like, you just need so much more experience. You just need to go out there. Like you need to fail at 10 dates. You need to bomb 10 dates. That should be your motivation, almost like your goal, because like that's where all the experience comes from. You have to think in terms of 10x, but guys don't do that, which is understandable, but it's like, you need to speed things up a million times faster. And then you won't get like, who cares about a single match not going your way? Who cares if she ghosts you suddenly? It's like, okay, you have all these other things in motion at the same time that you can keep progressing. And one of them's going to like work out. And, if you keep that up, then, more than one is going to work out. But that's it. Don't bother commenting on profiles. It is a waste of time. You might get a slightly higher match rate for those who actually see it, just because, I might comment. I probably won't comment, but like, as like a thank you, is like, okay, that's cool. They use the rose on me. I'm more likely to respond, but I'm not more likely to actually be interested, because I can't change that. It is what it is. But let me know how it's all going for you, how the apps are working for you, and I'll talk to you again soon.